Hi, I'm Radhika Anand, and you're watching me on Cineblues.
Hi friends, this is Ahwaan here, and today we have the writer of the real rom-com, adult rom-com, which is streaming on Netflix, Radhika Anand, the writer, who has written this beautiful love story between two adults, starring R. Madhavan and Fatima Sana Sheikh. So, first of all, Radhika, congrats. The film
Thank
has
you.
been
Thank you so
loved
much, Avan.
immensely. It has found its audience. It's really
Yes.
garnering a lot of love and appreciation. People really liking it.
Yes, I'm getting a lot of messages in my DMs. I'm getting a lot of phone calls from people I don't know. It's feeling surreal.
Yeah, I follow you there, and I am also seeing a lot of things, a lot of happening things out there. So yeah, that's the film has really resonated among a lot of people. So
Yes.
first, I would like to know from you, Radhika, how did this story come to your mind? Of course, you have been writing since long, and whatever I have found in your creations, it's a lot to do with kind of feminism or raising a voice against patriarchy. It's about women's expressions, their
Yes.
liberation, and all those things. These the core themes I've centered around these ideas. But behind Aap Jaisa Koi, what was the central idea? How did you come across this story?
The story basically for me happened several years back.
Mm-hmm.
I I'd written it as a five-pager, and I
Oh,
had pitched it to Jungly Pictures,
acha.
and they
Hmm.
had really liked it.
Hmm.
But the person that I was dealing with left Jungly Pictures and he went and joined Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, and then it just took some time. I thought maybe they've forgotten about it. Maybe this is meant to be made with somebody else.
Hmm.
So I waited on it.
Hmm.
But this gentleman, Amit Dhanwani, he's my producer at Netflix. He
Yeah.
remembered me
Ah.
from Jungly Pictures almost 4 5 years later also. And he called me and he asked me कि वो जो story है वो किसी को दी तो नहीं ना अभी,
Acha.
because he said that actually should be made here as a
Hmm.
Netflix film.
Hmm.
And it was an experiment because usually Netflix is approached by a producer,
Right.
who has a writer engaged. This was for the first time that a writer was directly being approached by Netflix.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
And the producers came in after that.
Hmm.
Dharma was always the first choice for both Amit and me and for Netflix, for everybody, because they are the best at telling love stories.
Of course.
Where
Yeah.
this story came from, I feel like Sri Renu is a lot like me.
Okay. Huh.
I feel like, yeah, I genuinely feel like I'm a bit awkward and a bit unsure of myself.
Right.
And
Huh.
I genuinely sometimes get into these cycles of self doubt.
Okay.
I'm also 41, almost 42.
Same
No,
as
so,
Sri Lanka in the film. Yeah.
yes, and so looking for love and looking for someone who will love you for just being who you are.
Hmm. Hmm.
And yet at the same time, being a woman, I mean, I'm telling a man's story.
Yeah.
So obviously that recurring theme of the woman's agency and of finding love on equal terms, that
Ah.
has to come in somewhere or the other. So the idea was always very simple. Two
Ah.
people find each other,
Yeah.
one completely unsure of himself and inadequate. The
Hmm.
woman is somebody who loves with abandon and without shame.
Yeah.
And the story is perfect. But
Well.
what happens when they both discover, rather, when the man discovers that the woman was on the same sex chatting app as him?
Ah.
Suddenly your double standards kick in. And I think what was important for me was to not paint Sri Renu as a as a black and white
Hmm.
character.
Rather with
He's
gray. Hmm.
Yes, because he comes across as such a sweet, affectionate, kind man that you would
Right.
not expect such internalized patriarchy in him.
Yeah.
But I've seen that around me. I've seen that of my I've seen that in my family. I've seen that in my friends. I've seen that with so many people
Hmm. Hmm.
who supposedly are liberal, but
Hmm.
they still have these limit
Subtle
setting.
thoughts. Yeah. The.
Yes, they have these thoughts of how they are going to decide how the woman in the relationship is going to be. So
Right.
it just seemed like a very quirky romance to me at the outset. And
Hmm.
then stories have a way of telling themselves. I found Kusum Bhabi while writing the story.
Yeah.
She just found herself in the film.
Oh, okay.
Bhanu Tripathi. Yes,
Hmm. So they were in
it
the
just seemed like,
they were in the they came in the evolution of the story, right? It
yes,
was not
like the
outrightly
idea
that you
was
are developing
always,
characters.
so the idea was always that how do you see, you can't really fix a man. You
Hmm.
can't also change a man at 42. But
Hmm.
how do you make him realize
Hmm.
that there is this uh, misogynistic trait in him and that, he's in his own way?
Hmm. Right.
How do you realize that you only see that by example? So
Yeah.
the idea was initially, just to let you in on a secret, initially they were his chacha chachi.
Okay. Acha. Kusum Bhabi
And then
is
they,
not Bhabi but Chachi.
yeah, they were chacha and chachi, but
Banu
then,
and Kusum. Yeah, Kusum. Hmm.
yeah, but it just made, it was my director's suggestion and it made more sense also for
Hmm.
them to be bhaiya and bhabi, because there's a certain amount of intimacy and warmth there. They become almost
Of the same age,
equal,
right?
even
In
contemporaries.
yeah, in one sorry to interrupt, but yeah, I remember just now that you told in one scene in I think towards the climax, Kusum Bhabi tells Shirenu kya hai मैं
But I'm
उनसे
only a
दो
little,
तीन चार
yes,
साल ही तो बड़ी हूँ.
buddy who. And I thought that that was really brave of Aisha to have been able to deliver that dialogue, because नहीं तो लोगों को, आपको पता ही है ना, problem होती है with that age factor.
Right, right.
But the idea was always that, यार, कि मतलब उसकी जिंदगी अभी शुरू हो रही है, वो 42 का है और मेरी खत्म हो जाए. I mean, I'm just in my 50s is the new 40s was always
See,
my
there's that. Right. 50s is the new 40s.
new 40s, yeah. In fact, I feel 50s is the new 30s. 40s is the new 20s.
Yeah, we are in the reverse kind of age
Yes,
evolution.
yes.
Okay. And what about these two cities, Radhika? Were there these two cities, Jamshedpur and Kolkata? Personally, they are very dear to me. But were they did they find their place right from the outset, or
No,
how was
actually,
it?
it was to be very honest, the film was actually initially set in Delhi.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Huh.
from Delhi.
Huh.
But he was always Srirenu Tripathi and she was always Madhu Bose. And I had
Huh.
always imagined the family is exactly like this.
Okay.
But I think Vivek, because Vivek has a certain style of filmmaking and it's a
Hmm.
beautiful style.
Hmm.
And he wanted to explore it more cinematically. And then
Hmm.
I have a lot of friends also who live in Kolkata. I have a lot of my writer friends and a lot of
Hmm.
cousins who live
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
And it actually seemed to make sense to set it in Jamshedpur and Kolkata, because it didn't change my story in any way. In any way, in
Right.
fact, it only gave it a lot more texture.
Right.
It was still saying the same things. It was just saying them more beautifully.
Yeah.
So yeah, that credit goes completely to Vivek.
Oh, okay. So Vivek Soni is the guy behind Kolkata and
Yes,
Jaipur. But yeah,
yes,
the kind of nuances that you have picked up in the film, Aap Jaisa Koi, and those little subtle observations that I could notice in the film about the two cities, very much inherent to the culture of Kolkata, Bengali culture, and also Jamshedpur. I remember you mentioned Thekua. That's a typical
yes,
Bihari dish out there.
yes.
And Hater Khori, the tradition of when they first start writing
They write the
Saraswati
alphabet.
Puja.
Yes.
Yeah, and even in one scene, I remember, I think that was Namit Das character who says, "Saraswati Puja में तो बहुत single लड़कियां आएंगी वो होगी." So yeah, people, my Bengali friends that tell that it's like they 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 consider Saraswati Puja as a Valentine's Day in Kolkata.
Yes,
So how
yes.
did these thoughts come? You spoke with
All of
their
it.
friends and all, or
Yes.
okay?
Spoke to a lot of our friends, both Vivek and I, and a lot of research as well.
Hmm.
We actually dug into the whole ritual, how it leads up to the Saraswati Puja.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
there's a series of rituals which we wanted to bring into the song.
Hmm.
A lot of it got edited out also because the
Okay.
song was already so rich
Acha.
that we just thought that we are overcrowding it. But
Right. Right.
yeah, we did a lot of research. We spoke to a lot of people. A lot of the authentic Bengali dialogues that you hear from it came from a lot of our friends.
Yeah, Bina
We just
Banerjee, she
wanted
speaks Bengali a lot. Even Fatima also converses few of the
Yes,
lines there. Yeah.
yes, yes. The Thekua, I think, could have been Maddie himself because he's from
He's from
He's
Durga.
from Jamshedpur, yes.
Yeah.
And we are all, the entire team is very fond of Tekwa. And we are all
Yeah.
very fond of sweets in general. So,
Yeah, that's the beauty of the film. As in these things, let's say Saraswati Puja, you don't find them usually in films which have been centered
normally it's
around
Durga
Bengalis.
Puja.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
always
So
Durga
that is
Puja. But I
something
just thought
fresh.
that this is, yes, it's untapped. And I think also what was really interesting for me as a writer
Hmm.
was um, to have Saraswati Puja happening when it's not actually Pujo time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Okay.
we see a different kind of Calcutta. It's just the run up to the puja, but it's not really the pujo time.
Right.
So you see a different shade of Kolkata there. It was very interesting to write, to research, and
Hmm.
I'm sure Vivek, of course, has taken it to a magical level.
Right.
It looks beautiful, absolutely. It looks better than a lot of Durga Pujas I've seen in films.
Of course, it does. It really does. Because it's, as you told, it really, explores the untapped. So,
Yes,
and beside the core idea of patriarchy, conservative thoughts, and orthodox ideas centered in families, and how the males, the men in our society, grew up with those foundational things, there are other things also the film tackles. So, like
yes,
Shrirenu's character is mainly saddled with loneliness, right? That's why he goes for
yes,
that Aap Jaisa Koi app. And
yes,
yeah, in the end also he says like, I'm a virgin, with a
yes,
lot of this kind of embarrassment, kind of insecurity. So whether those central thoughts where you created Srirenu, first of all, Srirenu is
yes,
a
yes,
very common
absolutely.
name. Radhika, how did the Srirenu name come into picture? And then you can start at my other question.
Um, I had a friend in college. So I'm from St. Stephen's.
Saint Stephen, okay.
Um,
Hmm.
yes, I did history from St. Stephen's, and वहाँ पे संस्कृत ऑनर्स भी पढ़ाते हैं.
Oh, that's how he's the, yeah, he's a
And
Sanskrit
now
teacher, right?
he was a student who looked like he was on his way to becoming a teacher only.
Oh,
उसको
wow.
देख के ही लगता था कि वो आगे जाके प्रोफेसर ही बनेगा. he was he was Shri Renu, and he used to get very angry if
No.
anybody called him Shri.
Acha.
He said,
was
"Please call
was
me
Sri
Shri
Kalana,
Renu."
that student, right? Sri Kalana, that was
Yeah.
very fantastic. Lovely. Very
Yeah.
connects. Yeah.
Yes. No, but to be very honest, like I said, my heart always goes out to the underdog because I feel I'm one myself
Mm,
deep down inside. So I
mm,
relate to a lot of misfits. I've been like that through school and college. I
okay.
still feel like I'm struggling to find my space, and that's okay. I'm just being honest. So I think Sri Renu comes from like a very large part of me is Sri Renu. I wanted to make everything about him unconventional, starting from his name to his predicament, which is that he's a virgin at 42.
Right.
He's looking for love. Everybody seems to find a problem either with his name or with the fact that आप संस्कृत पढ़ा रहे हो ना. So because
Yeah.
your life choices are always judged.
Right.
अरे मतलब अभी तक शादी नहीं हुई है, क्या कर रही है लड़की बॉम्बे में,
Mm,
एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. अब तो
mm,
हो गई है. But in general, I've been subjected to a lot of that. So I wanted all of that to find voice in Shri Renu. And like I said, a lot of my friends and family around me, I know people like Shri Renu.
mm.
And yet I feel there is no age to
No
find
age
love
bar. No. Yeah.
and
Right.
companionship.
Yeah, that is
Everybody does.
another factor, important factor, another
Yes.
tenet of this story, like
Yes.
where age is no bar. Right.
Yes. And I feel like everybody deserves it. And there is a certain amount of guilt
Mm,
attached to finding love and companionship beyond a particular age.
right.
And I feel like Sri Renu is so vulnerable because he's also saddled with the fact that he's a virgin. So
Mm,
that just ruins everything. So he steps into a relationship with insecurity.
right.
And somewhere the fact that Madhu is so sexually liberated and emancipated actually challenges,
Unapologetic.
yes, it
Yeah.
challenges the masculine in him in a different way because it's like, I don't know any of this. And she knows it so well.
Ah,
Will I ever be able to give it my 100%, in this relationship? Will I ever be adequate? That one haunting question. So it's like the reason why the niece actually tells him that you are in your way and that
ah,
breakthrough moment happens is because all
right.
these are self-created demons.
Hmm.
We just feel we are unworthy of love.
Right.
So I just wanted to create a character, a hero who's not fighting.
Correct. Yeah.
He's not the violent, aggressive alpha male with six-pack abs. I wanted him to be a very real,
Very gentle,
everyday
sober.
man.
Right.
Yes. And yet somebody who deserves to be loved like all of us.
Right. Bilkul. So were there any roadblocks there, Radhika? As in, you told that a lot of you know, resonated with you, and there were kind of reflections. But did you hit any roadblock in your writing during the process of Aap Jaisa Koi?
I think uh, the Chachi subplot, which is now the Kusum Bhabi subplot,
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of initially a lot of apprehension
Hmm.
because she's still married.
Hmm.
It just becomes a lot. I remember there was a film called Dr. G. Somebody had given me that example saying कि उसमें जो character
Ashwantpur
है,
Anand's story, right?
yes, and in that his mother Shiba
Hmm.
Chadda, she's on Tinder,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it
Right.
creates, yes, and it creates havoc in his head.
Yeah.
But somehow morally correct because she's single. I think she's widowed or
Hmm.
divorced.
Hmm.
So this was not sitting morally well with the
Aap Jaisa Koi.
with a lot of people who were initially reading the script,
Okay. Ah.
and they were feeling that maybe there's a better way of doing this
Hmm. Hmm.
because she's after all she's this is infidelity. But I feel like how do you define infidelity? I feel like if the relationship has died so many years back,
Yeah.
who
So,
exactly are you cheating? You're just cheating yourself.
right.
So I feel like that unfaithfulness though started many, many years back
Right.
because you know that there is no love in this relationship. There's no respect.
Hmm.
And when there is
Barabari
no
wala, yeah,
respect,
that
like,
you said, right? Barabari wala love.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. So one of the biggest roadblocks was to convince everybody on board
Hmm.
that okay for Kusum Bhabi to walk out of this marriage. She's not choosing another man. She's
Hmm.
choosing herself. She's
Hmm.
choosing love. She's choosing respect.
Yeah.
And to see that subtle difference without morally judging her,
Hmm.
because that's what we do with women all the time. We just judge them.
Yeah.
But I have to say thank you to my entire team, particularly to Vivek, to
Hmm.
Amit, because
Hmm.
all these people really backed me.
Hmm.
They did go through their own apprehensions, but eventually they came out understanding that this is the whole point of this story.
Right.
So if you don't tell it like this, then it will become dishonest.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So now that you have tackled various themes, in thank you for coming, it was like
Yes.
a very outrageous uh, uh, kind of plot.
Essentially talking of, yes, the same things. I've always wanted to tell
Yeah.
stories of women's agency and women demanding
Right.
sexual
Right.
pleasure, women talking about desire and normalizing desire for themselves. It's always recurrent.
Correct.
Sukhee, I wrote the story for a film called Sukhee, yes.
Shilpa Shetty, she was
On
on a
some
checklist
level,
mode, but
yes,
yes, it talked about women's freedom, women's liberation, her desires, her
yes,
identity. Even
yes,
Black Widow's rap comedy, it was about. It was also outrageous.
yes.
Yeah.
But Black Widows, I must let you know that Black Widows I didn't write. So there is
So it
another
wasn't.
Radhika Anand.
Oh, it was not you. Sorry.
There is one more Radhika Anand who's also a screenwriter, and she messaged me yesterday saying that she's getting so many congratulation messages from people.
Okay,
Yeah, Black Widows was her.
I see. But Gone Game screenplay you wrote. That was also that
Was her.
Radhika Anand.
Yes, that Radhika Anand.
So there are okay. That makes your
So there
choices
are
very
two of us.
focused.
Yes.
And of course, because I thought that Black Widow was a kind of that kind of the nature of the film was about
Yeah,
feministic
I think
things.
most of us women are trying to tell stories of women's
Yeah,
liberation and emancipation, obviously, because I
yeah.
just feel like they're not told enough. I feel like one of the criticisms of Aap Jaisa Koi that I'm reading is that it doesn't have anything new to say, and
Hmm.
it's the same repetitive message of like feminism. But I just feel like it's not changed anything.
Yeah.
Misogyny is still showing up every day in our day-to-day lives. So
The
I feel
foundation
like
remains the
it's
same, right?
never going.
It's just that.
Yes, and I feel like it's never going to be enough. No
Huh.
matter how many times you say it, it'll never get repetitive
Yeah.
because it's just not being said enough times.
Yeah, that will not change probably, Radhika. But the expressions that you have brought in the film, that is something new, very fresh, very refreshing.
Yes, and
So
and
that
and that's what
makes the film very essential. Yeah, sorry.
if it starts a conversation, that's half the battle won. You
Yeah.
just want people to start thinking and to talking about it, and you want them to start realizing that it's not just the men but so many women who end up perpetuating patriarchy also, because it's so internalized, because
Correct.
you're passively, that's how you are conditioned.
Hmm.
You are made to believe that if you don't sacrifice
Hmm.
your desires and your needs for the sake of your family and for your husband and for your
Hmm.
child, then you're not a good woman.
Hmm.
So a lot of these themes also find themselves in films, in stories that I write. But in particular, I
Hmm.
wanted Aap Jaisa Koi to be about a woman,
Hmm.
about many women like Kusum Bhabi, and of course primarily
Madhu.
Fatima,
Hmm.
Madhu,
Hmm.
who are demanding love on equal terms, because
Hmm.
why not?
Yeah.
Men demand it all the time, so why
Yeah.
not
Why
us?
not woman? Yeah. Right. Well, with that, it was lovely talking to you, Radhika. But I would want to know what's next.
I'm writing another film for Dharma. That's
Oh, great!
completely
Congrats.
different from this. That's a horror comedy.
Oh, wow. Tapping into horror, my favorite genre. Horror
Yes.
comedy.
And I'm also writing another love story.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is that for Dharma or some other thing? Okay. So we just
That's
start writing. Okay.
no, I've already written it. So that's for Huma Qureshi. She's producing it. She's going to act in it. It's again very unconventional.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw one teaser being launched where she plays a female assassin, I think.
Yeah, that's called Baby. That's the film that is currently going to release. But after that, we are working on this one.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that she will resonate with the character that you've been writing because, yeah, she plays those kind of characters very effortlessly.
Yes, and she's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, it was lovely talking to you, Radhika Anand. And
Lovely talking to you too, Avan.
on behalf of Cineblues, I wish you all the very best. All the very best to your
Thank you
coming
so much.
projects. And
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, and congrats once again for Aap Jaisa Koi going places.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Radhika.